So you are going to go to the second page of your notes in your Story Elements foldable with the blank flow map to take your notes on Story Elements. The first box that we're going to fill out is exposition, which is another word for the introduction. This is where in the story you get introduced to the basic setting and characters and the basic situation. So in Cinderella, this is where we find out that Cinderella is living in a house with her stepmother and two stepsisters after her father has passed away. So the exposition is made up of the setting, the time, and place of the story. So it's in a kingdom in Cinderella's house. And the time is a long time ago. We don't know an exact time for the story of Cinderella. But we do know when it is that it's when they had kings and queens and princes and princesses. The characters can be broken up into two different types. You have the protagonist, the main character of the story. So this would be Cinderella. And the antagonists, or the forces that work against the protagonist. It could be nature, like a hurricane or an avalanche. It could be other characters. It could be settings, or it could be the inner thoughts and feelings of a character that are being the antagonist. In the story Cinderella, the antagonists are the stepmother and stepsisters. The rising action in the story are events that contribute to the conflict and lead up to the climax. And the conflict is the main problem or question in the story. So the conflict in Cinderella is that she wants to be able to go to the ball but is not able to. So some of the events that contribute to the conflict and lead up to the climax are when they receive the invitation to the ball and Cinderella finds out that every available woman in the kingdom is invited. It is when it also includes when the dress that the animals make for her is destroyed by the sisters. And when the fairy godmother comes and bedazzles her. When she loses her slipper at the ball. And when she gets locked out or locked into the attic so that she cannot come when the footman comes to try the shoes on. Now, the climax is the turning point of the story. This is when you know that the conflict is about to be solved. So in Cinderella, the climax comes when Cinderella is let out of the attic by the mice who steal the key, and she comes down to try the shoe on. Even though the footman is tripped and breaks the glass, when she pulls out the glass slipper, we know that her problem is about to be solved because everyone's going to know who she is. The falling action, the events that follow the climax and lead to the resolution. So when the footman tries the shoe on her and the stepmother and stepsisters are shocked, are part of the falling action. And then finally we have the resolution, the solution or outcome to the conflict, the conclusion of the story, which is that Cinderella gets to marry her prince and they live happily ever after.